Welcome to Naturally Inspired Radio, where we expose what's broken in the healthcare system, connect you to real health solutions, and inspire you to take back control of your life. We want to help you feel empowered, informed, and free to live naturally without fear, confusion, or dependency. Download our latest book on real solutions for health at naturallyinspiredradio.com. Naturally Inspired Radio is a nationally syndicated show broadcast on over 100 radio stations, online platforms, video channels, and podcast feeds. Follow us on your favorite platform today, hit that like button, leave a comment, and engage in our special live stream chats, Monday through Friday, 3 p.m. to 5 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. Visit naturallyinspiredradio.com to learn more, register for our weekly giveaway, and explore past episodes. You can also connect directly with Tammy, follow her on all major social media platforms, and discover more about our featured guests and trusted radio partners. Are you looking for better health? Work with Tammy today and take the first step toward a healthier, more empowered lifestyle. Schedule your complimentary 30-minute lifestyle assessment to explore personalized guidance on nutrition, movement, toxin-free living, and natural beauty without pharma. Get started now and discover Tammy's preferred health products at naturallyinspiredstore.com or text Tammy directly 720-303-8868. Love the show and want to support the movement? Head over to naturallyinspiredradio.com and click on the support tab. There you'll find all the ways you can get involved. Join our Naturally Inspired community, become a preferred customer, attend one of our amazing live events, get your backstage pass for exclusive access, and connect to all things naturally inspired. Thank you for tuning in today. Now sit back, relax, and enjoy the show.
The information and other content provided on this radio show or in any linked materials is provided for informational purposes only, not intended and should not be construed as medical advice. It is not a substitute for professional medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment.
Welcome to Naturally Inspired Radio. It's Tuesday, cruising along the week. It's a beautiful day here in northern Colorado. The sun is out. I would agree that the skies are blue. I'm seeing that on Twitter. Are you seeing this on Twitter? On X, whatever. Are you seeing this, though, that people are like, oh, the government shut down, and also the skies are blue. And when I say the skies are blue, of course, I'm referring to the fact that they do not have these little white streams going crisscross all the way across the sky. And we're not getting that hazy look midday that we so often get. So enjoy your government shutdown and enjoy your blue skies. Now you say, oh, well, there's people not getting paid, and I don't know. I empathize with you for sure. I empathize with you for sure on that. But I think Trump will find a way. You know, I just heard that he did some wrangling of funds and was able to channel some of the tariffs into funding the WIC program. So the WIC program is, of course, subsidy for women and children for food. And that was shut down and about to be out of money here pretty quickly. So he funneled some money into tariffs And I know he loves his service people. So I'm going to keep everybody in my prayers that he figures out a way to get you all paid. That's for sure. But on the upside, our skies are clean. And maybe, just maybe, there isn't as much, corruption and evil taking place. I don't know. That's what I like to think. Anyway, welcome to Naturally Inspired Radio. I'm so glad you're here today. I want to talk about a topic that I try to convey all the time, because I think now more than ever, we need to come together as a citizenry. And I think, hammering this message home that it really isn't about left and it isn't about right, but this, I don't, upper class sounds like, because I think most of us are better people than a lot of politicians, that's for sure. But this ruling class of people, these people who have sold their souls for fortune, for notoriety, for recognition. So they're in control. They're in control of politics, and love them or hate them. Andrew Tate had a video out today that I just thought nailed it. And so I wanted to share it with you here today as well. Let's take a quick look at the first clip, and then we'll follow it up with another one. Here it is.
And that politics is simply money. Lobbying, media, all this crap is owned by very, very rich people, and they basically decide who gets to be in power. The people with the money for the longest time understood they could make more money if they improved the lives and improved the quality of Western society. By improving Europe, improving America, improving the standard of living for the constituents of these countries, they could make more money. But like all things, the pendulum swings. And it got to the point where people got a little bit lazy. They wanted health care. They wanted to only work certain hours. They wanted good living conditions. And one day, the rich people woke up and realized, wait, we can make more money now by destroying Western civilization. We don't make more money by making it better, because the people in the West now are very decadent. And they've started to pay a lot of attention. And they start to do these investigations. And they've started to notice how corrupt everything is. And they're starting to notice how much money we're stealing. If we could just replace all of them with third worlders don't complain about governmental corruption, ever. So if we're corrupt, we don't want Westerners with law degrees.
I mean, I can't say that I agree precisely with what he's saying there, but it's very close to what I've been saying. Very close, that the open borders policy, ushering in and welcoming in cultures that are not conducive with Western culture creates chaos. Chaos needs to be solved. And Westerners will want to solve the chaos. And when they go to solve the chaos, it's going to come in the form of mass control, which we already know is digital ID. But he hits the nail on the head here when he's talking about politics is money. Politics is money. And if you can't figure out what's going on in the world because your guy's in office, right? And you think, why is it that every time somebody gets in office, they say they're going to do all these wonderful things, and when they get in there, they have a really difficult time delivering on those things? And he nails it right there, because it's not about your intention. It's not about even merit. It is about the game of money. And maybe there's a few good people in politics, a few names come to mind that I think are probably pretty good people, and they really try to get the word out and they try to make change. But the truth is, they don't have the money. They don't have the backing of the big money. And these media outlets that we call, alternative media, the same is true for them. Eventually they have to take backing in order to play on the field, because the field is money. And if you can't pay to get on the field to play the game, then it ain't happening. You're not going to be able to impact change the way you want to. Unless, and there's still hope for this, unless we utilize our greatest strength as a citizenry, which is our numbers. But as long as our numbers are divided on left and right and LGBTQFROT, blah, 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 and Black Lives Matter and race war and the haves and the have-nots and this neighborhood and that neighborhood and all the ways they split up the pie. As long as we're busy partaking in that, then the money rules. The money rules. Check out this second clip from Andrew Tate.
Let's just destroy everything and benefit off the chaos. The reason you can know they're doing this is because they were doing this in the second and third world while improving the first world. When Europe was improving and America was improving, they were looting Africa and looting all these second and third world nations. Some countries always been getting screwed so another country can do well. There's two sides to the coin. And it's basically inverted. Instead of destroying Africa, instead of destroying India and destroying the Middle East and saying, let's destroy these places so Europe can do well, they've decided, let's destroy Europe so Middle East can do well. If you had to place a bet, a $10 million bet on a country like it was a racehorse, and you had to bet on the United Arab Emirates or the UK, and in 10 years from now, you're going to measure all the metrics and see which country's improved the most, which one you're going to bet on. And you're not even a professional. You're not even a banker. You're not even somebody who could actually affect it and make it happen. Not only can they make the bet, they can then affect that bet. They can bet on the Middle East, they can bet against Europe, and they can make sure their bet pays off. And these are the people with the money. And these are the people who choose your politicians. So when your politicians seem to be destroying the country on purpose, and you sit there and go, why is the politician destroying the country? He works for us. Doesn't he want the country to be good? Doesn't he want the country to do better? Well, the answer to that is no, he doesn't work for you. He works for the rich people who put him there. And the rich people want the country to be worse. So that's why it's getting worse. None of this is accidental. There is no such thing as accidentally not having a border and allowing unchecked migrants to turn up and paying for them all to come. There's no such thing as accidentally screwing over your veterans while giving houses to people who have never even lived in the country. There's no such thing as accidentally letting knife crime run rampant or accidentally letting violent criminals out of jail over and over again. This is not an accident. And to put it down to some degree of stupidity,
I love that he clarifies that here, because there's a lot of people that take that that point of view, like it's accidental. They're too stupid to get the job done. It's like in the health field as well. I think there's a lot of good people trapped in a really bad system. Brace yourself, because I'm not buying that anymore. It's not good enough to say, well, I'm a good person trapped in a bad system. It's not acceptable. We're talking about horrific decisions and execution of horrific incoming plans that will change humanity forever. And if you are participating in that, I don't care. There's no excuse for it. There's no excuse for it anymore. During COVID, I get it. We were jarred. We were really jarred. It was like, I didn't expect this pandemic. I've got this planned. I've got that planned. Like, I get it, right? And a lot of people said, I can't lose my job right now. I've got to get my bearings about me. So I'm going to take the injections. I'm going to keep my job and I'm just going to lay low. I get it. We're 5.5 years in now. We're 5.5 years into this whole campaign of reestablishing way of life on the planet. And it is, if you're still partaking in it, you haven't found a way out, that's on you at this point. Because there are many people who have reinvented themselves, who have dedicated themselves to a different path because they could not stay in a broken system. Stay tuned. This is Naturally Inspired Radio. We'll be right back.
Did you know that a single collagen supplement could support your heart health, help protect against EMF exposure, and reduce inflammation all at the same time? Our preferred foundational collagen not only supports radiant skin and joint mobility, but also promotes heart health, reduces inflammation, strengthens hair and nails, provides added protection against the effects of EMF exposure, and so much more. Our favorite collagen is super absorbable and easy to take. Just 1 tablespoon in the morning and another in the evening for maximum benefits. Here's what our listeners have to say.
This collagen is so easy to take, I've noticed a huge difference in my hair and nails after just a few weeks.
Since I started using Tammy's preferred collagen, my joints feel more flexible and my skin looks smoother.
Try it today at naturalinspiredradio.com/collagen. When you purchase from Naturally Inspired, you get access to our group health coaching call and so much more. Go to naturalinspiredradio.com/collagen.
Did you know Naturally Inspired Radio is now streaming on 100+ video, podcasts, social media platforms? All you have to do is search your favorite platform for Tammy Cuthbert Garcia or Naturally Inspired Radio, because we're everywhere you listen, watch, and connect. Help us grow our YouTube channel. Go to youtube.com and search for Naturally Inspired Radio. Like our posts, follow our channel, leave a comment, or join the chat. And don't forget to visit naturallyinspiredradio.com anytime for the full list of where we're featured online and on radio. Got a tickle in my throat. I think it's just the air blowing down here, kicking up some dust, because I got a little bit of a tickle in my throat. Anyway, I want to continue this conversation about politics, about culture shaping in our world. And I think Andrew Tate's got it right here. It's a much longer clip. I just took 2 little segments out of it. But basically what he describes here is kind of what I've been saying. You know, while we're all distracted with the latest rage bait, I think is what they call it, you know, to be rage about this, rage about that. And we have some major campaigns being rolled out, one of which is the Muslim campaign. That is not conducive. The traditional Muslim Islam practice is not conducive with Western culture. We're really starting to see these clashes now. I saw a viral video today of a woman who in Canada was out walking her dog. And as she was walking her dog, she encountered a couple. The woman was wearing a burqa or a Muslim outfit. I'm not sure which one it was. But anyway, so that's how we indicated that this is a Muslim couple. The man told the woman, the Canadian woman walking her dog, something about walking her dog because his wife was afraid of the dog, and basically, told her to not walk her dog there. And so an argument ensued. And I don't want to play it because who needs to watch that? You know what I mean? But this is just a reminder that this is the chaos I've been talking about. It's not going to fly. I don't think people understand the purpose of the presence here. The purpose of the presence here is not to assimilate into Western culture. There's a very strict doctrine that that requires this religion to bring other people into it, right? To conquer other people into believing in Islam. And so that's what they're doing here. And the gates were opened for that. And not all of them, right? We can't paint everybody with the same brush here, okay? But it's foolish. It is foolish to not understand your adversary. It is absolutely foolish. And I know there's this campaign of, kindness and inclusiveness that's been going on for a decade or more, has primed culture for acceptance of this. But what you're not prepared for is understanding the tenets of Islam. The purpose to come here is not to assimilate to Canadian culture, American culture, or British culture. No. It's an open door to come here and conquer in the name of Allah. That's what it is that we're facing. And so politics, while these people who have the affluence and the access to money, you say, well, why would they do that? They have to live here too. Oh, no, they don't. No, they don't. Because we're talking about amounts of money that you can buy shielding from this culture, right? You can pay for private flights. You can pay for private security. You can have a house in Belize and you can have a house in the UK. But nonetheless, you're living a very isolated lifestyle when it comes to like not living within GP, right? General population. No. This is a very exclusive lifestyle. And so it doesn't bother them. They're not going to be accosted on public transit for not wearing a hijab. They're not going to be accosted in the park for walking their dog. No. So that's what we're creating here, is this massive gap, right? Like this ruling class royalty. And so you wonder, wow, like why would anybody want to get in politics? That's why. Very few people that are interested in making change in the world and doing something productive in the world get into politics, because you know what? You're not going to do it there. You're not going to do it there. The cog is just like, it's just bogged down because you have to pay to play, and it's so massive to pay to get on the field that you have to sacrifice your values and your beliefs in order to even get on the field. Even to step on the field, you have to sacrifice. You can't do what you want because you don't have the funding. Someone's got to pay for you to even get on the field. And so nobody that really understands politics is going to want to get in there if they truly have a mission to help people change. And then maybe there's a handful of people that try to do it, and think like, I think Rand Paul, Ron Paul, people like that, Thomas Massey, MTG. There's a handful of names, but it's got to be exhausting. It's got to be exhausting. What has happened to Thomas Massey recently? Because he's an outlier, because he doesn't go with the flow, because he has a vision for what he wants to accomplish for the people, even his own party turns on him. Shut up. You're screwing up all the plans here. And the plans are all based in money. They're all based for the better of the country when in terms of money, and the money funnels upward, right? It doesn't funnel into GP, general population. So I just thought it was a really good way of him explaining politics. And so this way you can stop banging your head up against the wall and thinking, what's going on here? Like, deals are being made, things are being negotiated, and people need money to get those deals done. And they want a lot of money. It is a lot of money. It's not chump change here we're talking about. And he mentioned in that last clip about some of these countries, like Saudi Arabia and different countries, that if you had to bet on a country who was going to, be making more money, more valuable, have better investing opportunities, what would you invest in? Well, you invest in countries that don't have the variable of freedom. Because when you have the variable of freedom, like the United States of America, it's messy. Because you can't control the outcomes. You don't know what the people are going to do for sure. They question stuff here. People speak out. One day, one viral video, one day can change people's perception. And so that's why they got to keep, they're constantly like whack-a-mole. They're just trying to monitor that, because they're trying to control the outcomes here. And communist societies, tyrannical leaders, societies that are captured, you can control the outcomes there. There's less of a variable because freedom is messy. And during COVID, I really understood that, because they were trying so hard to get everybody to comply to this. Like, they were herding cats. You know what I mean? Some people are like, whatever, stick it. I'm not wearing a mask. Shut up. I'm not doing that. I mean, that was America, right? But was that happening in China? No, it wasn't. Because you basically can't function there unless you are compliant. And so I thought that during COVID, I was like, wow, people may have lost, and I don't want to speculate here, but it seemed like to me that many people have lost the thread on America. Like they want order, they want things to be convenient, they want it orderly. Right? They want all those things because they just got to get their stuff done. They just got to get their stuff done. They got to get their bag. They got to get their money. And so because money is the priority, then people complied. Because don't get in between me and my money. And I realized, oh, wow, people don't know that freedom is messy. That freedom comes at a price. That if you don't push back to protect freedom, it goes away. It's like we lost the thread on that. We lost oh yeah, this is the wild, wild west. We are going to have, homeless people. We are going to have, sometimes cities that aren't the cleanest. We are going to have social problems. We're going to have these problems in a free society, because that's the cost of freedom. It's interesting. Let's talk more about it when we come back. You're listening to Naturally Inspired Radio. I'm Tammy Cuthbert Garcia. Stay tuned. You're not going to want to miss a thing.
Did you know that medicinal mushrooms are excellent for pets? Take our preferred pet health products for joint health, skin health, antioxidant protection, sow health, anti-aging benefits, gut health, liver support, cholesterol regulation, blood pressure support, brain health, anxiety relief, respiratory health, endurance and strength, anti-fatigue, and much more. Available in easy-to-take treats, great tasting gravy, and our pet food blends.
Since adding mushroom dog food to my dog's diet, I've noticed a huge improvement in his energy and coat health. He's like a puppy again, even at 10 years old.
After starting my care on mushroom super sauce, her immune health and digestion have noticeably improved. She's more playful, and her fur has never looked shinier.
Learn how to get free shipping and how to join our monthly mushroom call. Text Tammy with questions or to order at 720-303-8868. Visit naturallyinspiredradio.com/mushroom. That's naturallyinspiredradio.com/mushroom.
Did you know that research shows the key nutrients in our favorite cellular reset can increase mitochondrial energy production by up to 45%, giving your body real fuel for energy and endurance? Mark from Arizona shared this with me. He said, I started taking the cellular reset to help with fatigue. Within days, I noticed I wasn't crashing mid-afternoon anymore. My workouts feel easier, and I actually wake up ready to go. Tammy helped me fine-tune my nutrition and gave me a plan that actually works. So you can try it today. Get a free membership, 15% discount, and a money-back guarantee. Just go to naturallyinspiredstore.com /reset. /reset. naturallyinspiredstore.com /reset. I laugh because I always get that wrong. Text me at 720-303-8868. 720-303-8868 if you have any questions at all. And I will let you know that when you become a customer, you get so much more than a product. You get the entire Naturally Inspired community. And tonight is Tuesday, and so it is our night for the weekly wellness workshop. And tonight we're going to be talking about the secret energy within plants, polyphenols, and the light of life. So you're going to learn how polyphenols help the body repair oxidative stress, enhance mitochondrial function, and activate your longevity genes. So join us tonight. All you have to do is become a customer. Go to naturallyinspiredstore.com /reset, and we'll see you tonight. I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be a good one. Really, really good. Okay, I want to get into this topic of convenience that I brought up just a minute ago. I think convenience is going to be the end of us, you guys, if we don't recognize it and start understanding that it's been weaponized to, again, funnel people into a specific outcome, then it's going to be our downfall. Because if you talk to people who express themselves how they acted during COVID, it all boiled down to, well, maybe there was a small portion of the population that were genuinely afraid. I can give you that for a couple of weeks, maybe. But beyond a couple of weeks, when you didn't see anybody drop dead in front of your eyes, it started to become kind of obvious, You started knowing people that were getting COVID, and most people were recovering from it. Not everybody, right? There were some people that went into hospital, got treatment, and died. There were people that were impacted. It definitely took them out. So I'm not suggesting that it was a cakewalk for everybody, but the government, coupled with media, would have you think. And I don't even want to say the government. I want to say these people I'm talking about, right? These globalists, these big players, the people that control our government because they have all the money. They wanted a very specific outcome, which was everybody to be vaccinated, right? Because that was going to usher in the new digital reset with vaccine passports, with the mRNA technology for a whole Pandora's box of new biotech therapeutics. And also introduce the idea of transhumanism into the marketplace. And so that was what was trying to be achieved during COVID. And there was a lot of people who folded under that pressure because, one, like I said, I think some people have lost the thread on this experiment called America, which is a place that isn't neat and tidy and uniformed and perfect. And everybody does the same thing so we can have utopian outcomes, right? That's not how or why this country was set up. This place is the Wild Wild West, is how it got its name. Right? It was coined the Wild Wild West because, hey, you get freedom of religion. There's a lot more freedom to do business here. You can innovate and try new things. There's a lot of leadway here. Well, there was, and there still is, but it's certainly not the way it used to be in terms of leeway and freedom. You can say what you want, but it's not, because people didn't protect those rights and understand them and allow themselves to be inconvenienced for a while for the better outcome of freedom for all. We lost a lot. We have now something like that's called, freedom of speech, but not freedom of reach. You got to pay to play to get on the field. And if you don't pay to play to get on the field, then you're out. The algorithm takes care of you, right? So it's just, I think, a reset, if you will, needs to happen within Americans who understand what it is to protect America. And I'm sorry, but freedom isn't convenient. It's not convenient because somebody is always trying to take it from you. Because there's this idea that, hey, if I could just get everybody to do what I want them to do, then I would win in my business. But the thing is, if you're legitimately in business, in the free marketplace, you got to accept that not everybody's going to see what you're trying to do and see value in it. And you can't force them because then you're going against the Constitution here. You're going against the idea of the country. But that's what these big players are doing. We saw it with Justin Trudeau. I'll just use him as an example. He thought he was so funny because he was in a town hall, and he's so cocky. He was so cocky. Why was he so cocky? He had the money. He had the money backing him. He was on the field, getting paid to be on the field. He had the money. When you have the money, you can be a little cocky because it doesn't really matter. You don't really matter. You don't like what he says? You don't really matter because you're not funding him. He's being funded by the big money. And so he let this slip out one time and it went pretty viral. It was a few years ago. You may or may not remember it. But he was being questioned about China. And he said, ha 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 ha. I have a lot of respect for Xi Jinping because he's able to get the things done he needs to get done because of the way he runs his country. I wish I could do that. Imagine what more he could get accomplished if he just had compliance. And that's what these big business people are paying for. They're paying for compliance. So everybody has questions about APAC and all these different, yeah, you should. You should have questions about it. You should have questions about Netanyahu paying influencers to shape culture in your country. And you know what? I don't even think your questions should be at Netanyahu. I think they should be at the people, the traitors, your fellow citizenry who is selling out for that. Because they're putting all of our freedom at risk because they want to get on the field. So when the next news story comes out and you're like, oh, those Democrats, oh, those Republicans, take a breath. Take a breath and understand what the paradigm is doing. Because, we can agree that, liberals have lost their ever-loving minds. They have collapsed under the pressure of the chaos, and they have allowed the algorithm to completely take over their consciousness. There's a new campaign every other week, and they're on it. Now the liberals in Portland are lying on the street naked. It's almost like it's a humiliation ritual, I got a great idea, everybody. ICE is in Portland. And so we're going to do a organized protest against this. Geez, what can we do? How can we mobilize people? I know. We're going to do a nude-in. We're going to make everybody get naked and lay in the street. Oh my gosh, that'll be hilarious. Won't that be hilarious? Yeah, we should do it because I bet they'll do it. You know why? Because they're completely captured by the algorithm, and whatever we tell them to do, they do. This is going to be great. And that's exactly what happened today. It's insane how people have given up their consciousness over to the algorithm, and they can be instructed like that. And it's not just the left, right? It's the right as well. We get pissed off at a company and, now every Cracker Barrel, Bud Light, roll out the boycotts, fire up the rage machine. Meanwhile, this is all heading towards digital ID and to less freedom for you and your children. Less freedom to choose this is the thing the reason why I continue to talk about digital ID, because people are like, it's just digital banking. Who cares? We already do digital banking. Oh my God. You're clueless. You're absolutely clueless if that is the way you think. We are talking about a shift in culture that is almost... You can't even really quantify it because you're like, every time I think about it, I'm like, oh, that will affect that. Oh, and it'll affect this. And it'll affect, there's nothing it won't affect. Your health choices, your finances, what you eat, where you travel to, what school you go to, you name it. Stay tuned. Your naturally inspired moment is up next.
Did you know that nearly 70% of Americans struggle with their health every single day? That's why we are reaching out to health professionals and to anyone who simply has a heart for helping people. Right now, there's an opportunity to make a real difference in people's lives while building a flexible income stream for yourself. Whether you're already working in health, wellness, or just passionate about seeing people thrive, we want to connect with you and introduce you to our system. Together, we can provide real solutions that empower people to take control of their health and create lasting impact. If you've been looking for a way to combine purpose with income, this is it. Visit simplehealthincome.com or text 720-764-7448 That's simplehealthincome.com or text 720-764-7448. We look forward to working with you.
Did you know that balancing your blood sugar and stress hormones can unlock natural weight loss? Without crash diets on calorie counting. I'm thinking of one of our community members who texted me early this morning. She's down 18 pounds. She's down 18 pounds just from not starving herself, but understanding how her hormones work, understanding how her body works, and responding in the right way. Brian from Oklahoma also had a story to share. He said, I struggled with cravings and afternoon crashes for years, and Tammy taught me how to stabilize my blood sugar naturally. It has changed everything. I have lost over 20 pounds, have steady energy, and my sleep has never been better. Yes, sir, because you are a synergistic being. So you too can try it. Get a 90-day plan with me, priority access to my text line and email, and VIP access to weekly wellness workshops. Schedule your free health and lifestyle assessment at naturallyinspiredstore.com/assessment. naturallyinspiredstore.com/assessment. If you have questions, and listen, I want to make sure this is right for you. Okay? Because these appointments are a courtesy, right? 30-minute appointment with me. It is a courtesy. I do it because I want to connect with you. I want to provide you real solutions for health. So when you book them, you got to be sure that you're going to be able to make that appointment and that you have enough time to spend with me and that you're ready to get going. If you are tired of having poor results, then this is for you. Definitely, without a doubt. I know I can get you better results. So think about it. If you have questions, text me, 720-303-8868. My schedule is filling up. And if you could see my text line right now, you would feel so encouraged. Because people are getting results and they are feeling better and they are having light bulb moments every day and thinking, oh my gosh, I didn't know that this could be this, simple. It's like, yes, it is simple. It's not easy because you have to change your lifestyle a little bit. But I think we were getting lost in the weeds for a long time here, thinking it was much more complicated than it needs to be. So you'll understand when you do a 30-minute assessment with me. You can book it at naturallyinspiredstore.com/assessment or text me 720-303-8868. Okay, let's get to the naturally inspired moment today, because this is a good one. I hear this, so, I'm always listening for things when I'm meeting with you, when I'm talking with you. I'm always listening for things. And, if something shows up in a conversation multiple times over, then it's gonna show up here at the naturally inspired moment, because this is my way. The show serves it's a service to help you stay engaged in the process of optimum health. I developed a transformation system that has 8 parts to it. There's actually, 8 components to changing a habit. And so one of the components of changing a habit is making sure that you stay immersed in the topic that fuels the changes you're making, right? So it's kind of like out of sight, out of mind. If, if everything around you is party, and cupcakes and cake and, going to this party and going over here to this event and, worried about next month's vacation and, this drama happening at work and that drama happening in your family and stuff. When are you squeezing in time to think about your health? You're just reacting to your situation. Oh, I need a sandwich. Okay, got to grab that. Okay. It's like way down low on your priority list. But when you plug into the show every day, you're hearing things and you're learning different things, and you're staying immersed in the topic, so that when you're out there living your life and you get presented with a great big piece of cake, but you already know that you've had cake 3 times this week, and you go, that's probably not very good for my insulin response, right? That's probably not going to be very good for my goals that I'm trying to. It's probably going to keep this psoriasis going. It's probably going to keep the inflammation going. You see what I mean? It then becomes applicable in your daily life. Something you heard on the show. You take a little bit of time to plug into the show, and then you're like presented with things in your daily life, and you're like, see, it changes you by default because you can't unknow what you've learned. You once you know, right? And then it's like, okay, now you have the choice. Am I going to apply the information, or am I going to continue to ignore it? If I continue to ignore it, then I can't lie to myself and tell myself I don't know why this is happening, which is some people like to stay there. Some people like to stay in ignorance because I don't know why I can't lose weight. I don't know why my blood pressure is high. I don't know. Because when you know, well, then you have to take personal responsibility, right? So fine. If you want to stay in the gray area of unknown, I totally respect that. Again, this country's built on freedom. Go for it. Right? Go for it. I wouldn't stop you. But if you do want better results and you do want to take personal responsibility because you're tired of not feeling well, then plug in here every day. Today's Naturally Inspired Moment is about motivation, because a lot of people have said, I'm just not motivated right now. I don't know what, I just can't get motivated. So today I want to talk about how motivation works and why it's not enough. So you can stop beating yourself up about not being motivated, because motivation, although used in the right context, it's valuable, but you don't stay motivated forever. When things go sour, when things get off the rails, when things go wrong, motivation ain't going to help. Sorry to say. So let's dive into it. Motivation is powerful, but it's fleeting. It's the spark that starts the fire, but it's not the wood that keeps it burning. So the truth is, motivation can get you moving, but it's not enough to keep you going. Real transformation comes when motivation partners with discipline, purpose, and daily action, and reward. So here's how to make it work for you, not against you. Number 1, understand what motivation really is. Motivation is an emotion, okay? It's not a skill. It's a surge of energy that's driven by desire or inspiration. It can come from music. It can come from people. It can come from a seminar. It can come from pain. And it can come from purpose. Purpose is the best one, in my opinion. But a lot of times, motivation is temporary. So recognize it for fuel for the start line, but not the finish line. And we all need these little injections of motivation, I feel like, you go 1-2 years and you're working on something and, it's not going the way you want it to go. You may have to take a little side break and go get remotivated, go refocus and get some motivation and go, yes, that's why I'm doing that. Right? And then come back to the work at hand and get back to work. For sure. That's what I say. It's valuable. But trying to motivate yourself every day, it's not sustainable. The brain goes, yeah. But yesterday was the same as the last day, So it starts to not believe it. And that's where we get into trouble. So pair motivation with vision. Without a clear vision, motivation fizzles. Know what you're working toward, whether it's strength, healing, or a better version of yourself. Vision gives motivation direction. It transforms random effort into meaningful momentum. I had a really profound conversation this morning with somebody who had been struggling with cancer. And she's through the cancer treatment, and she's on the other side of it. And she's still battling it, though. And the reason why she's still battling it is because her physician said, and man, her physician said, well, your cancer is asleep. It's not gone, right? It's asleep. And when it wakes up again, we have these drugs to help you again. Well, that takes away a lot of motivation, right? All this stuff that she's been through, and she's finally on the other side of it where it's in remission. And yet the fear is still there, right? Because who wants their cancer to be sleeping? That's not what we want. Because what's going to wake it up? Oh, we don't know. We don't know. Because cancer's idiopathic. We have no idea. We have no idea. I mean, that'll kill your motivation, right? I say no. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. You decide. Oh, that's a chapter in my life. I battled with that. I did what I needed to do to get my body back into homeostasis. And now I claim the homeostasis. This is mine. I am well. Bye-bye, cancer doctor. And you understand that your lifestyle now goes forward and you derive purpose from it. Your experiences, and you start living in happiness, you start living in joy because your body has pulled through for you, right? Gratitude for the body pulling through for you. And now you pick a path of health and you stay on it. You stay on the path, you pick a path to wellness and you stay on it and you start experiencing joy and you start experiencing life. The vision needs to be visited every day. Every day. And it's not for motivation. It's because the vision will push out all the rest. The vision will be, it's like a movie you're building in your mind, right? This is the way my life is going to be. I'm going to be well. I'm going to be attending these events that I want to go to. I'm going to be doing these things that I want to go to. Make that movie in your mind. And when you visit it every day, you don't have room for fear. The more you visit it, the more it starts showing up in reality. Build systems that don't rely on feeling. Use motivation strategically. Rely on consistency, not on your emotions, because your emotions are like this. Follow the path. Motivation is a wave. Stay tuned, everybody. We'll be right back.
Are you ready to stay informed and inspired 24/7? Tune in to Naturally Inspired Radio anytime, anywhere. Visit naturallyinspiredradio.com, or for the best mobile experience, download the Simple Radio app. Search for Naturally Inspired Radio, save it to your favorites, and click on the graphic to listen instantly. Catch live broadcasts, revisit past shows, dive into long-form podcast conversations, and discover rare, censored presentations by leading health experts. Plus, explore documentaries uncovering the hidden truths of occult and esoteric history. Stay connected, stay inspired. Naturally Inspired Radio is always at your fingertips. Tune in now. For health questions or comments, text Tammy directly at 720-303-8868. NaturallyInspiredRadio.com.
Welcome to Naturally Inspired Radio, where we expose what's broken in the healthcare system, connect you to real health solutions, and inspire you to take back control of your life. We want to help you feel empowered, informed, and free to live naturally without fear, confusion, or dependency. Download our latest book on real solutions for health at naturallyinspiredradio.com. Naturally Inspired Radio is a nationally syndicated show broadcast on over 100 radio stations, online platforms, video channels, and podcast feeds. Follow us on your favorite platform today, hit that like button, leave a comment, and engage in our special live stream chats, Monday through Friday, 3 p.m. to 5 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. Visit naturallyinspiredradio.com to learn more, register for our weekly giveaway, and explore past episodes. You can also connect directly with Tammy, follow her on all major social media platforms, and discover more about our featured guests and trusted radio partners. Are you looking for better health? Work with Tammy today and take the first step toward a healthier, more empowered lifestyle. Schedule your complimentary 30-minute lifestyle assessment to explore personalized guidance on nutrition, movement, toxin-free living, and natural beauty without pharma. Get started now and discover Tammy's preferred health products at naturallyinspiredstore.com or text Tammy directly 720-303-8868. Love the show and want to support the movement? Head over to naturallyinspiredradio.com and click on the support tab. There you'll find all the ways you can get involved. Join our Naturally Inspired community, become a preferred customer, attend one of our amazing live events, get your backstage pass for exclusive access, and connect to all things naturally inspired. Thank you for tuning in today. Now sit back, relax, and enjoy the show.
The information and other content provided on this radio show or in any linked materials is provided for informational purposes only, not intended and should not be construed as medical advice. It is not a substitute for professional medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment.
Shout out to our new customers. Welcome to the Naturally Inspired community. Jeff, Dana, Becky, Liz, Del, Chris, Gary, Frank, and Brad. Welcome. Thank you so much for purchasing your wellness products with Naturally Inspired. It's going to be a pleasure to serve you. We have a weekly wellness workshop tonight. We're going to be talking about polyphenols. Can't wait to see you on there. Of course, as a customer, you also get my morning whoa, my words of encouragement. that goes out early every morning. So that helps you set your intention for health every day. So just a few of the things that you get when you become a customer of Naturally Inspired and a community member. Coaching on my text line and so much more. So go to naturallyinspiredstore.com today and plug into all of our wonderful product line that help. They're tools that help you along with your wellness journey. Also, don't forget to go to naturallyinspiredstore.com for entering to win. We give away free product every Friday. We call somebody's name. So you can enter to win there at naturallyinspiredstore.com /win. You can get your name entered to win, as I told you yesterday, with a very scientific process. It's all very, very, very technical. So yeah, your name will be added, and we will pull the name from our office on a piece of paper. So anyway, get your name entered because we give away free product every week, and we want everybody to have a chance to do that. So head on over there, naturallyinspiredstore.com /win. We talked about anything else, new customers. We talked about, oh yes, when you are the winner as well. I have to mention this. When you are the winner of free product, you also get to do a 30-minute assessment with me as well. And we'll dial in and pick the products that are best suited for you to help you on your optimum journey. So it's actually a twofer, really. You get a free assessment and you get free products. Like, wow, that's a fantastic deal. So plug in today. If you have any questions, just text me 720-303-8868. I just want to take a little bit more time, if you don't mind, talking about the Naturally Inspired moment, because I went off on a little tangent there about building your vision. But man, it is serious business controlling your thoughts. Right. And at first, you do have to control them. You have to build a system to control your thoughts. But it doesn't stay that way. Eventually, you're on autopilot and you don't even realize that you were having those old thoughts way back when, because you've retrained your neural pathways to lead to success and not slide back into your old results that you had. So I hope that makes sense. Building that vision and running that vision in your head all the time, there's no room for any of the other fear, worry, doubt. So try it. Really try it. Imagine how you want your life to be, right? If it's not what you want right now, then you got to start really building a vision for the future. And when you run that vision in your mind's eye all the time, a couple times a day, should take you, a minute or two to run that vision. It pushes out all the negativity. Such a powerful tool. And it sustains. It creates a sustainable motivation, not these big, hypes and spikes where you're like, oh, I'm really hyped up because I read this story and this person did that and I listened to this, and that will wane. You need consistency, and that vision can bring that to you. So building a system, don't rely on feeling. Motivation might get you in the gym once, but systems like scheduled workouts, when you're going to make your meals, making sure you have groceries in the house, right? So you go to grocery shopping on a certain day, and all that, and also accountability, like the Naturally Inspired community. That gets you there every time. Building routines that work, even when you're tired, stressed, or uninspired, because you're like, well, I just got to do it anyway. This is my pattern. This is my system. Use motivation strategically. When the spark hits, use it immediately. Take action on something that moves the needle. Sign up, clean out the pantry, write the post, make the call. Don't wait until it fades. Use it to light up your next step, right? So capture it and use it in action. Don't just ruminate on it like, oh, that's such a great story. Use it. Use it as fuel. And number 5, rely on consistency, not emotion. When motivation runs low, consistency keeps you moving. Discipline is doing what's needed rather than what you feel like doing. And over time, that consistency builds belief, because it's like, oh yeah, I've done it this day, and it's working, right? I feel better, have more energy. I've lost a little bit of weight. I'm feeling better about myself. My mood's better, whatever it is. Don't just measure your success by one variable. A lot of people fall into that category, right? Especially when we're talking about weight loss. It's like, they're in a fight with the scale. That's tough to maintain motivation. So you have to have these multiple variables that you're using for measurement to track your progress. So very important. So motivation is definitely a wave. You can control it. You can't control it, rather, when it comes, but you can choose to ride it. Use it to start, but let discipline, vision, and daily action carry you across the finish line. That's how transformation truly happens. And that is what you're trying to do. Your goal, your finish line, what you want to achieve, it's wonderful. But what is more wonderful is the transformation that takes place in you to become that person to cross the finish line. That's sustainable when you do it properly, when you understand that you don't give in to just, fleeting motivation, that you need these other variables to get you across the finish line. You're transforming into somebody who can sustain the results long term when you do it the right way. All right, let's get to some stories on health, because Dr. Fauci, I'll tell you what, I think I have forgotten more about COVID than any of the normies in this world will ever know happened about COVID, right? I feel like I've forgotten more than they'll ever know. And Dr. Fauci, because what are we many years later now, Dr. Fauci was escorted. We're finding out that he was actually escorted into the CIA building for meetings, and those meetings were never recorded. Check out Jesse Waters on Fox News. He explains in this clip. Here it is.
Fox News alert, new evidence has just surfaced tying Dr. Anthony Fauci to the CIA's cover-up of COVID-19. Last week, a whistleblower claimed the CIA was paying people off to bury the lab leak theory. And now this, from the House committee investigating the pandemic origins. Quote, Dr. Fauci was escorted into Central Intelligence Agency, CIA headquarters, without a record of entry and participated in the analysis to influence the agency's review. The committee is now ordering HHS to hand over documents detailing all of Fauci's movements during the pandemic in and out of CIA-controlled sites.
And of course, what we've since learned from that, and we were learning in real time actually, is that there was email communication where it became pretty obvious that there was a leak. And there was an effort to cover up that leak from multiple things, from, maybe fudged studies, redacted emails. There was a lot of conversation going on months and months and months ago that was quite obvious. And yet, I'll take you back to our first topic today, which is, money controls everything. We have a legal system. We have a legal system. It certainly applies to you and I, but doesn't necessarily apply to people who are on the field, right, with all of the money. And I think that's exactly what I do. I think we'll ever see justice for Fauci? No, because the people he was playing for on the field that paid to get him on the field, they'll figure out a way. Negotiations will take place, And I'm telling you, people are forgetting. People are forgetting, and they're on with their lives, and they don't want to be inconvenienced. And I think the best win we can hope for is that people understand their health moving forward. The one thing that we have going for us is the mistrust of the medical system. That is, I can't even tell you, that is so high right now. Every single person I talk to, I don't know what to do because I don't want to go to my doctor because I asked my doctor about this and they're like, oh, what are you talking about? You're crazy, But meanwhile, dang well because you've done the research, you've found the studies on the NIH website, you've got documented research, you've got even testimonials from people who it's worked for. But you go to your doctor and you ask them about it and they're like looking at you like you have three heads. Oh, don't confuse your Google degree with my medical degree. The arrogance, right? And that's what most people are dealing with. They don't even want to tell their doctor what they want to try or what they want to do because it's not worth the argument. It's not worth being demeaned, which will inevitably, I think, is what most people are worried about, is that you're going to be made to feel stupid for even asking. Call me. I'll tell you, I don't give medical advice, but I can certainly send you the information that you can print off and take to your doctor and ask him, ask her, ask them, see if they know anything about it, Don't settle. I think that's one of the best variables we have in our court right now is that people are actually afraid of their medical system. And it's definitely warranted. It's definitely warranted. But, yeah, it's going to be interesting. Stay tuned, everybody. I've got more news stories, your health topic, and a lot more stuff to cover. This is Naturally Inspired Radio. I'm Tammy Cuthbert Garcia. I am so glad you're here. We'll be right back.
Did you know that a single collagen supplement could support your heart health, help protect against EMF exposure, and reduce inflammation all at the same time? Our preferred foundational collagen not only supports radiant skin and joint mobility, but also promotes heart health, reduces inflammation, strengthens hair and nails, provides added protection against the effects of EMF exposure, and so much more. Our favorite collagen is super absorbable and easy to take. Just 1 tablespoon in the morning and another in the evening for maximum benefits. Here's what our listeners have to say.
This collagen is so easy to take, I've noticed a huge difference in my hair and nails after just a few weeks.
Since I started using Tammy's preferred collagen, my joints feel more flexible and my skin looks smoother.
Try it today at naturalinspiredраdio.com/collagen. When you purchase from Naturally Inspired, you get access to our group health coaching call and so much more. Go to naturalinspiredradio.com/collagen.
Did you know that collagen makes up 75% of your skin structure? Stress, sugar, UV exposure, it all speeds up collagen breakdown, making your skin look like it's aging faster than it should. Diane from North Carolina said, I was skeptical at first, but after watching Tammy explain how collagen breaks down, I gave it a shot. And my skin feels firmer, my laugh lines softened, and I feel more confident without makeup. Tammy really knows how to connect the science with real results. Try it today. Get a free membership, 15% discount, and money-back guarantee. All you got to do is go to naturallyinspiredstore.com/collagen, If you have questions about collagen, I know a lot about collagen. I know so much about collagen. It's such a powerful tool in your optimum health journey. Just text me, 720-303-8868. All right, let's get into the digital ID. Would it really even be a day at Naturally Inspired if we didn't talk about the digital ID? Pressing issue. This is how they're going to sell you the digital ID. I cannot believe they think we're this stupid. Do you ever just sometimes feel like you watch something or you hear something a politician says or somebody says, some tech bro says, and you just go, really? Like you insult my intelligence, It's just fascinating that they think that this is going to go off without a hitch. So this is in the UK. I think all eyes on the UK right now when it comes to digital ID, because that was the chosen country, you know, the chosen Western world country to roll this out in. So this is on the Parliament floor in the UK. Take a listen.
Madam Deputy Speaker, I have always believed in giving people power and control over their lives. Control over the public services they use, how they access childcare, benefits and housing support. Control over their data and who sees it. And control over the choices they make to rent or buy a home, apply for a job, open a bank account, and much more besides. In the age of the smartphone, we can take this control quite literally into our own hands. But too often, it feels like we're at the mercy of a system that doesn't work for us as well as it should. One with endless form filling and bureaucracy just to prove who you are. Where you might need your passport to apply for a job, your national insurance number to pay tax, your driving licence to buy a pint or a glass of wine, if you're lucky enough to be asked. And most frustratingly of all, you might have to rummage around in a drawer looking for an old electricity bill just to open a bank account or join the library or enrol your children in school.
Oh, those pesky forms, those pesky pens, those, you know, ridiculous driver's license. I mean, who needs them? They're just so inconvenient. Why not just centralize all our information into a digital identification, right? Where all you have to do is swipe your hand. Let your eye retina be scanned, right? I mean, who needs the inconvenience of, being personally responsible for your own wallet? It's going to give you more power, everybody. It's going to give you more power because you're going to have access to all of your data at your fingertips. And so, they know that you're buying the convenience. They know that the Western world, like Andrew Tate said in the video that we watched at the beginning of the show, they're counting on everybody just being a little lazy. They're counting on us forgetting and losing the thread on the very purpose for America. They're counting on it because who wants to deal with a wallet? I mean, my Lord, how much more inconvenient could you get? You got to take your phone, you got to take your keys, you got to take your wallet. It's too much, I tell you. It's too much. And so this is how they're going to get you to comply to the digital ID. And nobody's ever going to see your data. I mean, who could see your data? You're such a conspiracy theorist. Those Canadian truckers got and the people who donated to the Canadian truckers. I mean, we found their data, but that was because they were breaking the law. They were breaking the law by donating to a cause that they felt compelled to support. And that was breaking the law. So just don't break the law. Don't break the law and your bank account won't get shut off. Don't break the law and you won't have a problem getting health care. Don't break the law. Or wait a minute. Maybe it was a mandate. Yeah, it was a mandate. So no, it's not a law, but it is a mandate. So don't go against the mandate and you won't have a problem. Well, everybody agrees that this year's flu shot is the very best flu shot that we've ever had. And so therefore, we need to mandate it. Oh, you don't like flu shots? Oh, they gave you Guillain-Barré syndrome? Oh, they gave you thrombocytopenia? Oh, they gave you Bell's palsy before? Well, here's the thing. There's risk with everything, but you got to do it because it's a mandate. Oh, yes. Now we've decided. In my next story, you'll see why I'm saying this. We've decided that beef is now, it's not for everybody. You know, it's a delicacy, actually, beef. And the cows are ruining our climate change. And so we're going to restrict everybody's consumption of beef. And it's a mandate. And if you don't comply, well, then we'll charge you all the carbon. Do you see where this is going? You have got to be an absolute moron at this point to believe this woman who's telling you who wants to take their wallet anymore? It's such an inconvenience. It's so inconvenient to apply for a birth certificate for your child. It was so inconvenient. I can't even remember doing it because it was so inconvenient. You know, don't even remember because it was really a thing, I guess. We have some serious concerns to tend to when it comes to digital ID. Whitney Webb was recently on Glenn Beck. Glenn Beck actually did a fantastic job explaining, you know, like the carbon credit stuff and the digital currency and the score, right? The carbon score that was rolled out for corporations and whatnot. I mean, you got to give it to Glenn Beck. He really breaks things down on those chalkboards wonderfully, and certainly helped me understand the credit score thing. And at the time, it was something, when he explained it, it was something that only corporations were having to, it was the ESG score, right? The environmental social governance score. And at that point, it was just corporations that were having to engage in that. They had to have an ESG score in order to get financing at a good rate, in order to get into certain programs, maybe even qualifies for subsidies. It was a extortion measure. Do this or don't. And pay the consequences. That's kind of where I think it started. And then we always knew it was going to come on to the individual. And that is where we are now. So check out this first clip. This is Whitney Webb on Glenn Beck, helping us understand, again, much like Andrew Tate, that this is a different class of people, the ruling class. Take a listen.
Much time trying to enslave their fellow human beings, you know?
Yeah. I think it's because a lot of the people that seek to enslave the vast majority of humanity have a lot of capital that they want to devote to this, unfortunately. Unfortunately, we also know that money can buy you essentially anything in today's world, including armies of behavioral psychologists and any other number of other specialists. But ultimately, you know, I think a lot of them are increasingly relying on artificial intelligence to be able to do this at scale. And so I think this advent of the era of, you know, AI generated content also enables them to, you know, tweak things faster and also to manipulate our attention in ways that, you know, are just really being discovered and maybe won't be discovered, you know, for a long time with, you know, increasingly significant impacts on human behavior and also on human perception. So, I think ultimately it's never been more important to be a critical thinker and to do as much of your own research as possible. And the best way to do that research, like what I just talked about regarding, you know, the UN and digital ID and how they say it, you know, it's in their own documents. You just have to go in and read it. And not everyone can do that. But if these are issues that particularly concern you, we absolutely should, make that effort. And also, I think, in the COVID era, for example, a lot of people were against these particular policies, digital ID being one of them. But these people will repackage and rename and sell you same policy under different metrics and under a different name with a different face that they deem.
Isn't it so just coincidental? When you really think about it, it's just so coincidental because, we have the AI race happening, right? Where we have these 5 or 6 companies that are in they are in a heated exchange for power because whoever wins the race gets all the chips, all the chips. Some of the chips they've never had access to before. So it's very competitive right now in the AI race. Stay tuned. I'll explain more after this break. You're listening to Naturally Inspired Radio.
Did you know that detoxing daily can help remove up to 70% of the toxins in your body? Let me share 3 real stories about how Greska's C60 has helped people feel their best every day. John from Denver, Colorado says,
I've always struggled with seasonal allergies, but since I started taking Greska's C60 every day, my symptoms have significantly improved. I don't feel congested or tired all the time. It's been an amazing daily detox for my body, and I feel so much more energized.
Emily from Portland, Oregon says,
As an athlete, I was looking for a way to keep my body clean and detoxed. Greska's C60 has been a great addition to my routine. I feel less bloated and I feel more clear-headed. Plus, it's helped me with occasional muscle stiffness and aches after intense workouts.
Visit c60.com or call 720-600-6040 today to start your own journey. Use promo code Tammy at checkout for a special discount.
So your gut health affects 90% of your mood and your immune function, and it can improve dramatically in just weeks with the right support. Samantha said, Tammy helped me understand how my digestion and stress were connected. Within a month, my bloating was gone, my mood lifted, and I feel lighter inside and out. Her weekly workshops keep me motivated and inspired. You can try it today. Get a 90-day plan, priority access to my text line, and VIP access to our weekly wellness workshop. Tonight is the night, Tuesdays at 7 p.m. And if you can't make them live, you can always log in to the website and hear all of the on-demand classes available as well. Schedule your free health and lifestyle assessment at naturallyinspiredstore.com/assessment. If you have questions about these assessments, just text me, 720-303-8868. It's really me. It's not a bot. It's not an AI. It is me. I am here on my health text line. You are conversing with me. A lot of people text and they think it's going to be a chat bot or it's going to some sort of answering service or something. It's not. It's really me. It's really me there. Okay, let's get back to some of these stories. We're talking about the digital ID, and Whitney brings up a very valuable point here. These guys are in a race, and there's like 5 or 6 of them. And let me tell you, there's never been more chips on the table to win a race than there is right now, because whoever wins this race, which I think is going to be centered around biology, the bio revolution, where we merge technology into humans. That's really what they're focused on, because the Pandora's box of products and software and, oh my gosh, it's overflowing with products and services that they're going to charge for once they have access to your biological data. And, life and death is a pretty good motivator. So just imagine that. Anyway, so she talks about that in this podcast, and she talks about something else, cognitive regression. And I've been talking about this a lot too. I haven't called it cognitive regression. I guess people like Ray Kurzweil and Eric Schmidt are talking about it in framing it with cognitive regression, which is something they fully expect. They fully expect that the human race will regress in their cognitive capability, meaning we might not be able to read in the future. We might not be able to write in the future. We might not be able to process information or even generate our own ideas in the future because we become reliant on artificial intelligence doing all those things for us. And if you don't think, oh, that's ridiculous. When was the last time you went somewhere unknown without GPS? Right? When was the last time you broke out the map to do a out-of-state road trip? If you don't think it's true, then I would also ask you, how's your mental math going? Pretty fast on that still? Perhaps some people are because they're making a concerted effort to retain their cognitive function. But not everybody is doing that. So cognitive regression is expected. This other idea that she brings up is what it's doing to people's brains when it comes to perception. Because the eyes see these AI-generated videos, these AI-generated images, even people we know online who are posting on their social media accounts are now using AI software to change their image. And so that's really confusing in the brain's perception of reality and virtual. And that is actually going to facilitate more artificial intelligence and the use of it. That is going to facilitate bringing in things like digital ID and whatnot, because our perception is so this is why I say they're blurring the line between reality and virtual so much. Like they are trying to do that. I mean, you have people like Ray Kurzweil admittingly saying they're trying to solve the issue of death. They're trying to solve the issue of sleep. Do you think he's going to solve the issue of death, or do you think he's going to keep people alive in the digital realm? So that, instead of mourning the loss of someone, you actually just start living more in virtual reality because they're there in virtual reality, or at least their bot is, their avatar is, their likeness is in virtual reality. And if we continue to coddle people, and I mean coddle people, into thinking that they should never feel no pain. You should never feel pain, right? You should never feel pain. This is what this strange culture is cultivating, that life should be painless. If you've got a pain, take a pill. If you've got hurt feelings, retaliate. Shut that person up. If you can't get what you want, just get it somehow at all costs, because money is the priority. Who cares if you have to betray your belief system? Who cares if you have to betray people? Because it's all about the money. Oh yeah, OnlyFans. Well, she's making that money though. See, the more blurring of virtual and reality that is allowed to happen, and it's all weaponizing superficial emotions. They're weaponizing our egos against us. They're weaponizing our ego that wants recognition, that wants to be something we're not, because we can't accept who we truly are. And that's the devil's work right there. You're not good enough. Really? I guess maybe you're not good enough if you're comparing yourself to everybody's virtual avatar where you can be whoever you want and create the world you want and, rent out jets for 15 minutes so you can take a bunch of selfies in there and then post them periodically throughout the year so that you can project that you have this just wild, lavish, wonderful lifestyle. It doesn't really exist. But you can trick people into thinking, and maybe they'll follow you. And then I don't know what the plan is with that. You get a lot of followers. I know people that have millions of followers who don't even actually monetize anything. So it's just ego. It's just ego. It's all ego. And that is what's going to make us very vulnerable. Because what if you don't have a digital ID and you can't even get online? You're making all your money off TikTok. You're making all your money off of, TikTok. Don't even get me started on TikTok. But do you see? It's I don't know. I wonder if people are seeing the full scope of this, because it feels like they aren't. Again, this is should be priority, but guess what everybody's focused on? We're focused on Israel. It's like, it's bizarre. It's like your house is on fire, but you're going to tend to something else, Oh, I know my house is on fire, but also I'm going to plant these flowers out front. You know what I mean? What are we doing? What are we doing? Here's the second clip here that I want to share with you before we go to break with Whitney Webb and Glenn Beck. Take a listen.
This is the highway system for that, isn't it?
Sure. Yeah. Well, Larry Fink is now running, I believe, the World Economic Forum. He's acting chairman. And in addition to saying that everything will be tokenized, he's said that everything will soon be on the same universal digital ledger or database, and that everything on that database will have a unique identifier number. So for you as an individual, your identifier number will presumably be your digital ID or directly linked to that. But everything will have a digital ID. The tokenization agenda in particular seeks to tokenize not just assets that we traditionally think of, like real estate, for example, or gold, or physical assets as well as digital assets like Bitcoin. There's a major effort connected with people like Fink and also people like Mark Carney, who's now Prime Minister of Canada, to tokenize the natural world and transform it into financial assets. And there was an attempt to do this to an extent under the Biden administration, I believe through the Department of Interior, with natural asset corporations, but that has not gone away. And there are groups, for example, one of the creators of the ETF model originally, which BlackRock now owns, iShares. His name is Peter Kenez, I think is how you pronounce it. He's trying to turn the Amazon rainforest into a digital commodity, sort of similar to Bitcoin in terms of the scarcity idea that each hectare of the Amazon rainforest would represent a token, and then
the dangers of tokenizing our natural resources. Things like the rainforest. I know there's been an effort to do this as well to state parks. And you got to start thinking about water, tokenizing our natural resources, sunlight, Bill Gates wants to dim the sun. Rainforest, natural earth, your God-given right. Very dangerous stuff. Stay tuned, everybody. We'll be right back. This is Naturally Inspired Radio.
Did you know that nearly 70% of Americans struggle with their health every single day? That's why we are reaching out to health professionals and to anyone who simply has a heart for helping people. Right now, there's an opportunity to make a real difference in people's lives while building a flexible income stream for yourself. Whether you're already working in health, wellness, or just passionate about seeing people thrive, we want to connect with you and introduce you to our system. Together, we can provide real solutions that empower people to take control of their health and create lasting impact. If you've been looking for a way to combine purpose with income, this is it. Visit simplehealthincome.com or text 720-764-7448. That's simplehealthincome.com or text 720-764-7448. We look forward to working with you.
Welcome back. Don't forget, there's an opportunity to join us tonight on the Tuesday weekly wellness workshop. Tonight, we're going to be talking about polyphenols and the power of polyphenols. You may have heard the term polyphenol. It's a powerful antioxidant. So we're going to be talking about that tonight. When you are a member of the Naturally Inspired community, you get all the weekly wellness workshops for free. You just have to be an active member in the community. So come and join us tonight. Go to naturallyinspiredstore.com/workshop and get registered to join us this evening. Really quick, I want to show you this clip as well, just to show you, the direction of the players on the field, right? Left, right, up. There's all kinds of players on the field. They're the players that have all the money. And just to give you an idea of where their interests lie, take a listen to this clip about your food pyramid.
You're familiar with the scientific report of the 2025 Dietary Guidelines Advisory Committee, is that correct?
Yes.
And you're familiar with the members who wrote that, who were on the Dietary Guidelines Advisory Committee, right?
Yes.
Got it. One of the things in this same article, which you wrote as a bit of you said misinformation, which you're attempting to dispel, is that there are no conflicts of interest. Is that correct?
The discussion is that conflicts of interest was considered in the process to establish the Dietary Guidelines Advisory Committee. I think conflicts of interest, whether real or perceived, is an extremely important conversation in nutrition science.
Right. One of the members of that committee is a man named Chris Gardner. He's a practicing vegan. He's an environmentalist activist, receives funding from a company called Beyond Meat, which is trying to run cattle producers out of business, wants to move towards plant-based diets. Do you think that that's a conflict of interest, that he is on this panel advising the United States in an official capacity about what foods are nutritious and what aren't, whenever he has an obvious financial interest in Beyond Meat?
I'm not, I will say that conflicts of interest were reviewed by
I'm just asking if it is
Office
a conflict of interest
within the Department of Health and Human Services, who chartered the committee. I think that those things should be disclosed.
Here we are again, your food pyramid being bidded upon. And so plant-based Beyond Meat, Representative Chris Gardner has impact on what's healthy for your diet. And that corporate capture continues to happen. This is corporate capture. it's fascism. Really, it really is fascism. It's when the private sector has paid to play so hard that they get involved in regulation, right? And they're paying to play. So those politicians, oh yeah, they're backing every policy. What a disaster plant-based Beyond Meat is. Your body doesn't know what that is. You want to talk about inflammation? You want to talk about confusing your body? Get some fake food and eat it daily and see what happens. There's a very specific, way of life that it just so happens that all that stuff is naturally available for you, right? If it walks on the earth, if it grows in the soil, all this stuff naturally it's there. And instead of using what's there, these corporations would want to synthesize a fake version of what is there because they're conning people into thinking that we have this campaign called climate change that just so happens to completely align with all their products and services. And if we can get everybody to buy into climate change, then we can make everybody buy our products and services. And if we can't make everybody do it, then maybe we can mandate it. And we can mandate it upon the people when they've lost their desire, to be critical thinkers. And that's what we see unfolding right in front of us. Complete warfare that we're in. I've been saying that for, since 2019. I think I've been saying that definitely since 2020, that we are at war here. The best fighter, when they want to win the war, the best way to do that is to have your opponent not know they're at war. Let's move to our health topic because it's an important one. Today, I want to talk about the pelvic floor, your pelvic floor, and what you might need to know to keep that area healthy. It's not a problem until it is a problem, right? And then when it is a problem, it's terrible. You get things like you feel like you have to go to the bathroom all the time. You're getting UTIs. All different kinds of issues can arise with your pelvic floor health. So what is the pelvic floor? It is a group of muscles, ligaments, connective tissue at the base of your pelvis. These muscles act like a hammock. They support your bladder, your uterus, your bowels. And when they're strong and balanced, they help control urination, bowel movements, sexual function, and core stability. So here's what's important. A healthy pelvic floor is essential for everyday function, holding your organs in place, preventing incontinence, improving your posture, and supporting core movement. Weakness or tension can lead to prolapse, and that can lead to back pain as well, or bladder leaks, or discomfort during intimacy. So why does this happen? Pelvic floor dysfunction can develop over time, and here are just some of the reasons. Childbirth or pregnancy, aging and hormonal changes, chronic constipation, heavy lifting or poor posture, excess tension from stress, nutrient deficiencies, especially collagen loss. And lack of targeted movement can also be a cause, right? I mean, think about how much sitting we do nowadays. So here's how collagen and strength training can help. Collagen is the protein matrix that makes up connective tissue, makes up ligaments, fascia, and your muscle fibers. And as we age, collagen production decreases, as I've covered here many, many times before, and it weakens these structures. So supplementing with high quality, highly absorbable collagen supports the elasticity and resilience in your pelvic tissues. Also, and in conjunction with strength training, right? Especially core and hip stability work. Now, when we think of the pelvic floor, I think a lot of people's minds go straight to Kegels, right? We have to do Kegels. And here's what I found with things like sciatica, things like back pain. We tend to want to stretch the area. So if we have sciatica, we'll just be like tearing on it, just, really trying to stretch it out. The point of origin isn't necessarily where we need to focus when it comes to stretching and whatnot. What can bring relief is creating space around the area. So instead of just focusing on Kegels, you want to focus on bringing stability to the area, especially in your core and especially in your hip stability. Because when you fire your glutes, when you fire this hip stability, it rebuilds the pelvic muscles, right? You're rebuilding the scaffolding that's holding the pelvis in support. So think, instead of like focusing on the primary issue at hand, like the pelvic floor, I've got to do my Kegels, think about supporting it. So think it's about supporting the pelvic floor with the muscles that are around it, and think of creating space around that area. So together with collagen and resistance training over time, you can help the body rebuild and repair from the inside out. So here are 7 strategies for a strong, resilient pelvic floor. 1, mindful connection. Bodybuilders practice this and know this is to be true. When you focus on the area at hand, right? So you're trying to focus on those glutes and focus on the area around the pelvic floor, and practice, the Kegels and working on the area itself. Use your connection to your brain. So don't just kind of like do it while you're watching TV or, just kind of like, oh, I hope this works. No, lock in mentally to the motion itself and think about the muscles being strengthened. Okay. Adds extra connection to the area. And so you can practice gentle contractions, but you want to focus. You want to lift the area like with pelvic tilts. You want to hold and release. Awareness is the first step towards balance. So lock into the area. The more mind-body connection that you have, especially with rebuilding connective tissue, rebuilding and restoring the body, the better. That's what bodybuilders do. They don't just pick up a weight and start like, okay, yeah. You see them, right? They're in the mirror. They're like really timing it. They're thinking about the muscle and the growth of it. Use the same tactic with restoration. Okay. Number 2, breath work and core coordination. So deep diaphragm breathing helps synchronize the pelvic floor and your core. So inhale to expand and relax the pelvic muscles. Exhale to gently engage and lift. This prevents over-tightening and supports organ stability. That's not what you need, is more tightening, right? Like just tighten up. No, it should be a fluid movement, right? Your body likes fluid. Constant contraction or like, just like really intense contraction, you're only going to do more damage. Your body likes flow, flow. 3, build collagen daily. Supplement with collagen. Everybody needs it. And you want to make sure you're taking a good multivitamin as well to make sure that you are, getting some vitamin C in, and protein-rich meals to support tissue rebuilding and hydration of your connective tissue. Strength training with purpose. Add glute bridges, squats, hip thrusts. Add all these things into your routine, okay? Target the muscles that are connected to the pelvic floor 2 to 3 times a week with proper form, mindfulness, right? And breathing alignment. Number 5 is posture and alignment. When your pelvic floor works best, your pelvic floor works best when your spine and hips are aligned. So avoid slouching, avoid prolonged sitting, using a standing desk, or take walking breaks to make sure you're keeping blood flow and nerve health optimum. Hydration is the next one. Oh my God, everything does better with hydration, right? So dehydration and electrolyte imbalance make tissue stiff and less resilient. So aim for mineral-rich hydration and use whole foods. So you want to make sure you're using electrolytes to support supple fascia and nerve conduction. Number 7, nervous system regulation. Chronic tension and stress cause pelvic muscles to stay tight. Daily relaxation, gentle stretching, walking, take warm baths, do a foot soak, reset your muscle tone and improve function. Everybody, this has been Naturally Inspired Radio. I'm Tammy Cuthbert Garcia. Thanks for joining me.
Are you ready to stay informed and inspired 24/7? Tune in to Naturally Inspired Radio anytime, anywhere. Visit naturallyinspiredradio.com, or for the best mobile experience, download the Simple Radio app. Search for Naturally Inspired Radio, save it to your favorites, and click on the graphic to listen instantly. Catch live broadcasts, revisit past shows, dive into long-form podcast conversations, and discover rare, censored presentations by leading health experts. Plus, explore documentaries uncovering the hidden truths of occult and esoteric history. Stay connected, stay inspired. Naturally Inspired Radio is always at your fingertips. Tune in now. For health questions or comments, text Tammy directly at 720-303-8868. Naturally Inspired Radio.